Hi, folks. I know it's been a long time since my last upload. I really do apologize for that. What you're seeing right now is my improvised office. We're getting stuff put together in the new house, and it's not nearly as easy as you would think. A lot of stuff has gone a little awry, and last week is when my classes for school started, and so I'm trying to get back on the hobby horse with that. And I have been seeing a lot of this article out of the Post Crescent from the Avery neighbor that apparently saw something around the time of the murder, but he never came forward about it. He never said anything about it. And I wanted to do this video because I know you all have been waiting for me to do a video on this article. And it goes like this, kids. This neighbor of Avery's lives close by, and he claims that around the time of the murder, like in between, October 31st to the time that the car was discovered, he saw the car being taken to the quarry, being driven to the quarry, and there was a white Jeep following it. It drove in the direction of the quarry, and then later he only saw the white Jeep coming back. Or maybe it was the other way around. Yeah, anyway, either way around it. I'm sorry. I still haven't had nearly enough coffee today. Oops. So he saw this, and he never really reported it, but here's where I have the sticking issue, kids. First of all, the reason why it's taken so long for me to do a video on this article is I and a couple of my people from my Facebook group have actually been combing through every inch of footage that we can find, because I swear to God, me and a fellow researcher, we actually know that we've seen a white Jeep. We just can't remember where. So we are sifting through hours worth of footage trying to find where we saw this white Jeep. Because the way I figure it is, if I can identify, or if she can identify where we saw this white Jeep, that might point a little closer to the killer. Somebody go through the DMV records, see what Ryan Hilligoss owned at the time, or Scott Bloderd. So that's why I've held off doing this video, but I know you guys are getting antsy. So I'm still sifting. We're still sifting through the video footage. We're trying to find out where we've seen this. But here's my other thing, kids. This is not the only report of somebody saying that they saw Teresa Halbach's car in the quarry. There were actually, I believe, two other witnesses that came forward and actually did speak to the police officers and did tell them that they had seen Teresa Halbach's car at the quarry prior to the discovery at the Avery salvage yard. And yet, those claims were never investigated. They were never looked into. They wrote them in a report, they stuck them in the file, and they relegated it to the back of the fucking drawer because as far as they were concerned, they had their guy. Are you fucking shitting me with this, kids? This is a perfect example of the lackadaisical procedures that Manitowoc and Calumet County used to investigate this crime. And if this was an isolated incident, you might be able to talk me into believing that Stephen Avery is guilty. However, this is not the only instance of Manitowoc County or Calumet County or really any of the fucking districts in Wisconsin fucking up an investigation, falsifying evidence, manufacturing evidence, and falsely accusing and convicting a person on crimes that they did not commit. This is not an isolated incident. Start going through their records and you'll see what I'm talking about. Start going through even just their fucking local newspapers and you see this shit all over the state. This is not an isolated incident, kids. And here's the other thing. There seems to be this thought process that if the guy was arrested, he must have done something. But yet, you guys are fully aware, you're fully aware that police corruption has been happening since police forces were instituted in this country. And yet, somehow, you still can't believe that cops would be dirty. No, kids, I'm sorry. It's a fact. There are dirty cops. What's the saying? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. The fact is that you give someone that much power And it is only a matter of time before they start abusing it. This is why in this country we have what we call the system of checks and balances. This is why we have the 3 branches of government. It's to check each other and put each other in their place. It is so that no one person holds absolute power. And I hate to tell you this, kids. I know a lot of you love to do that whole, oh, thanks, Obama bullshit. But the fact of the matter is that Obama doesn't even hold absolute power. The fucking president of the United States does not hold absolute power. And here's a fucking revelation for a lot of you. The Queen of goddamn England doesn't even hold absolute power. It's called Parliament. Parliament holds just as much power as the Queen does, if not a little bit more. And there's a reason why. It's because one person having absolute power, even in the medieval days, the king still didn't have absolute power. Before the advent of Parliament or any other systematic government, they had to answer to the Pope. So even, to be honest, the only person who has ever held absolute power in this world was the Pope. It was the Pope. Read a fucking history book, you'll see what I mean. That's the entire reason why Henry VIII invented the Church of England, was because the Pope adamantly refused to give him a divorce from Catherine of Aragon. And it's not for religious reasons either. The Pope had granted papal dispensations prior to that for monarchs all over the world to divorce their wives, to put the wife away and take another wife, primarily for the whole, lineage heritage bullshit. Catherine of Aragon had not given him a son. She had only produced one child that lived, and she was beyond childbearing age. Normally, the Pope would have given him a papal dispensation to get a divorce. He didn't give him that papal dispensation because Catherine of Aragon's nephew was the Holy Roman Emperor. He was very, very in line with the Pope. The Pope wasn't about to piss him off. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, kids. The only person in the world that has ever held absolute power over more than one fucking country was the Pope. But in the case of Wisconsin, the state government holds absolute power. They've even taken away your constitutional right, your constitutional protection against unlawful search and seizure. You guys are sitting fucking ducks. How do you not see that? My God. And this article is a perfect demonstration of that, because he is not the only person that is reported seeing Teresa Halbach's car between October 31st and November 5th somewhere other than the Avery fucking property. And had the police done their fucking job, they would have gone out to that quarry, they would have searched around, taken tire impressions, and looked for evidence about her car being there. But they didn't do that. They didn't do that because it didn't fit their fucking narrative, kids. And if you are so goddamn naive that you don't see that cops can and are corrupt, then there's no hope for you. I don't have the time, energy, or the fucking crayons to explain it to you. I really don't. All right, kids, I've actually got another video or two that I'd like to record today. That's my plan. If I don't get to it today, I'll try really fucking hard to get to it tomorrow. But at any rate, thank you all very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to me here on YouTube. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, MamaPhoenix6. And if you boogie on over to the About page here on my channel, you'll find everything from my Pinterest boards to my Instagram to my Facebook fan page. Thank you all again very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.